people, not so good people. I'm gonna let you decide whatever you want to be on that, or anywhere in the middle. It's your boy Cool McCain, back for another episode of Monarchs of Wrestling, and finally getting cleared it up quite good up in this piece. But I am joined as always by the other half of this monopoly. Playmaker, what it look like though?
Well, the road to WrestleMania is starting to take shape. How do we feel about it? Or do we like where we're going? Do we don't like where we're going?
We'll have some words on that for sure. So as we were hopping on air, Playmaker, let me know that you've seen some information. So Playmaker, man, talk to us. We hitting the NXT and ain't to jump off anyway. So talk to us. What's going on?
Which is the crazy part, because it's actually NXT news. So normally during WrestleMania weekend, we have the showcases. We know the 2-night event. You have the Hall of Fame, and you have NXT Stand and Deliver. Well, according to PW Insider, they have reported, and WWE has confirmed that NXT Stand and Deliver will take place on Saturday, April 4th. This year's Stand and Deliver will not be a part of WrestleMania week.
That's actually smart.
You want to go ahead and continue with your thoughts on this news?
Sure. It's smart, WWE, so you can start to distinguish NXT from WrestleMania and from SmackDown and Raw. You might say, oh, why would you want to do that? Well, if it's a different weekend, then you can have people from NXT participate in WrestleMania events. You can have them have matches. You can have them have pop-ins, do different things if they haven't had their own thing the night before, overshadowed doing WrestleMania weekend. So you can kind of establish this as a separate but still big event. And also from TKO's point of view, we get y'all all at a different place, all the NXT people, then turn around and suck y'all dry again for WrestleMania. So, I mean, it makes sense. It's a win-win, and you get a chance to start to distinguish NXT as its own entity and not just like minor league, SmackDown, and Raw all the time. The third brand on WrestleMania weekend. So,
NXT Stand and Deliver will be run from the factory at the district in St. Louis, Missouri on April 4th, rather than in Vegas over WrestleMania 42 weekend. The original plan was to have it there, but they changed their mind. They're saying the main reason was scheduling and production complications tied to running WrestleMania on the West Coast. Recent years in Los Angeles and Las Vegas last year showed that stacking NXT, SmackDown, the Hall of Fame, and 2 nights of WrestleMania created serious logistic pressure.
I can see that.
So my co-host, he's on board. Yeah. You do Stand and Deliver before you get to WrestleMania weekend.
Exactly. It gives them their own little showcase. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying little in a bad way, but just, their own little showcases. They focus things. We focusing on NXT and NXT only. Of course, TNA will be part of that because, this point, they're almost one brand. But with 2 sets of championships. But I think it's a smart move. Should go over well. And it gives people that maybe, feeling the pressure of the bite of WrestleMania weekend a chance to do something different. So, hey.
And to buffer what Cool just says, moreover, the decision is seen as strategic scheduling rather than a creative downgrade for NXT. By separating Stand and Deliver from WrestleMania weekend, the WWE wants the event to have a strong chance of staying alone and drawing clearer attention from fans and media. This also helps protect the production crew from overload scheduling and heading into WrestleMania.
I'm with it.
As we stick into NXT, give you a quick rundown of what took place. Right off the bat, I was not happy how NXT started. I understand why. Let me first say I understand why it went that way. But just because I understand why doesn't mean I have to like it.
I get it.
The Veteran Projects are the new NXT Tag Team Champions, taking it off Dark State thanks to one Tony D'Angelo, who is on his mission. But that part I don't mind. I just didn't want the tag team titles on those two dumb nuts.
I mean, Tony D'Angelo is doing what he said he was going to do.
I'm good with that part.
But if you're going to destroy him, you got to take the championship from him.
I know that. I just didn't. That's why it won't happen last week when they became the number one contenders. Because I had a feeling that's probably what was going to happen. I was hoping I was going to be wrong, but
don't worry about it. They won't have him long. You ain't got to worry about it.
I hope not. I don't like neither one of them three.
Tony D'Angelo warned him.
But I'm not mad at Tony D'Angelo. He's on a mission. Can't be mad. The man was on the mission. I was on board with the mission, so I can't be mad at him. I just wish he could have had a different team in there. Any other team besides them.
Hey, I feel that way about something we'll get to later too.
Keanu Carver, beat Shawn Legacy. For me, this is a good thing. Jasper Troy is no longer the speed champion. I'm just gonna leave it like that.
The whole thing about that was kind of wild, though, like extra time and all that foolishness.
Because it was a triple threat.
But still, it's speed. Speed has a certain time. If you go over that, it feels kind of like fraudulent, and that's what they did. But it's all good. I mean, I don't care about speed that much anyway.
That's impressive. You said anything.
You could take that championship and throw it in the ocean. I'd be happy.
That's what surprised you said anything about that match. That's why I kept it short. I was like, I know you don't care. I was like, let me keep this short and just move on. Speaking of the Speed Championship, Thea Hell beat Blake Monroe in the Speed Tournament. Thank you. I did not want Blake Monroe in that stupid tournament.
I don't want anybody in the Speed Tournament, but I feel you.
I feel you on that one, but
I feel you doing everybody a disservice.
You get Blake Monroe away from that.
You need to get the hell away from that too.
No, she can stay there. She's crazy. So
I just want you to know, sir, she has been the month-long character, the MLC on WWE Champion, sir. She deserves better than what they're doing with her on television.
That's the character that they gave her. If they give her a different character, I might feel different.
You know what I'm saying?
But that's the character they want her to have.
She's been the MLC.
Hey, I can only go with what they give me, okay?
Hey, that's why I had to put it there, because I understand that what they putting out with her is speed worthy. You know what I'm saying? I understand that. I want to say something, but I'm going to save it until the proper time. In regards to the Speed Championship, I know someone who should be the Speed Champion.
Oh my gosh!
I know somebody who should be Speed Champion. Yep, I do.
The fact that he knows someone who should be Speed Champion, that is like the worst thing you can get from Cool McCain right now. He want to give the title that he can carry the least about in all of wrestling to a certain person.
I do.
That includes AEW.
Oh no, it's not AEW person.
And all they 50 million titles.
Yeah, it's a WWE person. But yeah, you're right. It includes AEW. I'm just saying, from everybody know, it's a WWE person I'm referring to.
No, I'm saying I want to say all the wrestling. Like
No, I
that's
get
how
what you're
bad
saying.
it is. Because that's how low you think of the Speed Championship. It is
Yeah. So the
bottom.
Speed Championship is below MLW. Obviously New Japan, all that. It's below HOG. It's below Reality of Wrestling, all that.
And we talk about the other promotions.
But the Speed Championship is below all them.
That's how bad it is.
Yeah.
All right. The heel turn of No Surprise finally happened.
Right. That's fact.
Zarya turns on Soruka, and they did it in a different manner this time. We ain't gonna wait until you knee deep in the match and it could look like you can win. We're just going ahead and get this over with right now.
At the very beginning.
We're just going to get this over with right now. Jason Jane, go ahead and get your easy pin victory and retain the title, which I still think you're still not close to being one of the best champions ever. I'm sorry. You did nothing for me.
Sometimes you just ain't got nothing to say, bro.
And the problem, and you know the funny thing is, go back to your speed complaints. Look what y'all did to Fallon Henley. She's nowhere in the picture whatsoever because she got the stupid speed championship. I mean, she had the North American title. At least she knew about it because somebody was trying to get it from her. You having a tournament to determine a number one contender for a speed championship.
You should just let somebody walk in off the street, put on their gear, and wrestle for the speed championship. It doesn't deserve a tournament of any type.
Fallon Henley deserves better.
Everybody deserves better.
And he tell you, I'm not even a fan of Fatal Influence.
Everybody deserves better. Almost everybody.
But we knew Soruka was not winning that title.
Nah, they made too much of an emphasis about how she gets too many opportunities. That already tells you what's going to happen. You're going to get got.
But I do like the change, though. We ain't going to wait. We doing it right. Yeah, we're going to go right at the gate with this.
Right.
Let's go ahead and get this over with right now.
Quick bust down, so to speak.
Which is different. I appreciate different.
Yeah, gotta do something different. Can't keep doing the same ish. Expect a different outcome.
It's like, oh, couldn't even wait for the bell to ring? This is what we doing?
Yeah, we whooping your ass. You feel me?
So kudos to Shawn Michaels. Kudos to you for that.
He's just a sexy boy, that's all. He's not your boy toy. Oh, man.
And then the main event. I'm skipping the match on purpose because it doesn't
hey. Do your thing.
North American Championship. Ethan Page defending against one Miles Bourne. And there was a question that I posed 2 weeks ago. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Last Tuesday night, Miles Bourne pulled the trigger, defeated Ethan Page, and he is now the new North American champion.
So I just want everybody to understand one thing. Miles Bourne right now is winning in life. North American Championship. Do you know who his lady is? Stephanie Vaquero.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I think she's one of the main champions on Monday Night Raw right now.
Miles Bourne is winning in life right now as a whole.
And the crazy thing is the Vanity Project tried to do their due diligence to help Ethan Page retain, but Shiloh Hill and Hanky Tank even those odds. And then, from some reason, The two AEW superstars and Ricky Saints and Ethan Page, they decided to develop a friendship all of a sudden because Ethan Page tried to come and help, and the NXT champion said, "I don't think so."
It was interesting. But we got the outcome. We needed. Ethan Page needed to let go of that belt.
Yeah. He can let go of the other belt too whenever he felt like it.
He already let go of the other belt, bro.
He did.
They're not the champs no more.
Is that because Chelsea Green's injured?
I think so.
Okay.
Either that or they lost right before she got injured. I can't remember which one.
Okay. So, Miles Bourne, congratulations. You're a champion for once. You finally captured a title in WWE.
You can do it! You can do it all night long.
Happy for you, sir. Happy for you. And that will conclude the NXT portion of the show.
So not a lot there on the NXT side, but a little bit happening. So promise you guys we'd spend a couple of minutes on TNA since we kind of had a gloss over TNA last week. We had some things happening. It is what it is. But Thursday Night Impact, TNA Wrestling. It was interesting, actually. It was interesting. So to start off the show, Steve Maclin was not allowed in the building. He went to one of the, I guess I want to say authority figures, maybe. Announcers, authority figures, or whatever. And was like, I just got some stuff I need to say. I need to get in the building and say what I got to say. So the person said, I'll go and I'll talk to the higher ups and I'll get back to you. But you got to stay outside. The higher ups, yes, sir. So we had this first match on Impact on AMC, by the way, for those who are watching it. And Yolanda, I do see that you're there. I'm gonna get to your comments in a minute. Just want to go and knock this out real quick. I know how you get if we don't acknowledge you. So Frankie Kazarian actually jumped in on commentary. We had Mike Santana and Leon Slater, the World Heavyweight Champion, X Division Champion, against Nick and Ryan Nemeth, those Nemeth boys.
Nemeth boys.
I was going to say something else, but we'll go with Nemeth boys. So, by surprise, Nick Nemeth and Ryan Nemeth beat Mike Santana and Leon Slater. If you think about it, though, it does make sense because they're not a tag team, but still a little bit of surprise since you let your champions go down like that. But everybody doesn't understand consistent booking.
It happens everywhere. It happens everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. No wrestling.
That's all I got to say about Ryan.
Just saying, no wrestling promotion. They have their moments. I guess TNA had theirs.
Very true. Very true. Very true. All right. Then Gia Miller's in the back. She's talking to the Righteous. The Righteous and the Hardy Boys take on the System at the end of the night. The Righteous lost, so they feel like they need to regain the trust of the Hardys. So they're trying to do that, in this situation. All right, then we had Danny Luna versus Li Ying Lee, former TNA Knockouts champion, in a singles match. To make a long story short, which is what we're doing, because we got a couple of things we're going to talk about in TNA, but this is really not one we're going to spend much time on. Danny Luna defeated Ying Lee Ying in a singles match.
Every time you say that name, I think it's a movie character we're talking about.
That makes sense, sir. That makes sense. It's a movie character's name, so definitely makes sense. All right. So Alicia Edwards is in the back with Tommy Dreamer and Carlos, the announcer. Well, the third member of the announce team. She feels lost. She wants to step away from TNA. She doesn't like what's happening with the system, and she's upset about that. So she wants to kind of step away. Moose convinces Alicia Edwards to re-sign with TNA. So this, I think, is going to become a very interesting angle with Moose and Alicia and everybody else in TNA and in the system because she's Eddie Edwards' wife, of course. So you on one side, your wife with the ops, as the young people say. So that's going to be interesting. That's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, it's the wife doesn't like what the husband did, and she can't accept it.
To the point of being so wild that she's still rocking with Moose.
Or or is it a ruse?
I mean, it could be a ruse, but it probably will end up being a ruse. But for me, I still say like I like
You
the
saying this is genuine with what she's doing? Is what you're saying?
nah. It could be a ruse. I just like the fact that they're trying to go a different angle and not just the same old sugar honey iced tea.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying about doing it like oh she's distraught and she wants to help Moose and everything, and then the next week she's a bad guy. I just think that's gracious,
I
and
got
we
you.
don't need any more of that. So at least we're doing something different. Um, you do make a great point that it could be Swerve, no Strickland, but yeah, at least for now, we got a little different dynamic. All right, we had AJ Francis versus Mance Warner, and he's of course has Steph Delander in his corner. A lot of these matches from this week, it's like we ain't gonna really talk about them except for what happened. So AJ Francis won the match by disqualification because of Steph Delander. So Mustafa Ali is not going to be here this week because he's injured. He had a guitar case casket match last week that he lost, and he got done real bad by can't remember what his name is here. Is it just I don't know. Elias new name. He just whatever his name is now. He's just Elias to me. Um, so we had a face to face. Ash
Face
by
to face.
Elegance and Mickey James. So we had a little hardcore country, which I like that
Why
song.
is Asked by Elegance having a face to face when she was practically forced to retire not that long ago?
Because she's back now, sir. Remember?
I know she's bad. So are you telling me that she's medically cleared to
I am telling you she's
step
medically clear.
so she can step between those ropes again?
Hmm. So,
Hmm. Okay.
so Mickey says that she thought her and Ash by Elegance were friends, but lets her know that they're no longer friends. Ash feels like she was the hottest free agent, and Mickey had no part of her coming to TNA. A little back and forth. Um, the Elegance brand, an important part of this, were backstage intimidating Mickey's son. So she hops out of the ring to go back there because, of course, his dad can't be there to have his back because he's too busy running SmackDown. She gets surprise attacked by the Elegance brand, and then she gets a Mick DDT, and she gets left in rough shape. I don't like bringing back Mickie James to be the one to wrestle her. If you want to bring her back and have her like mentor a young talent or something like that, that would be fine with me. But if the complaint is always we are not allowing the new talent an opportunity, then let's allow the new talent opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Let's actually allow new talent an opportunity, the younger talent. So, I mean, Mickie can still go, don't get me wrong, but it's the point of she should be calling out one of the young wrestlers to come out and be like the person with her or whatever, but it's not what they're doing.
Yeah.
So Ariana Grace, guys, is your TNA Wrestling Knockouts champion. So that's going to be interesting. So we have a match between Jada Stone and Tasha Steelz. This is what I would call a TNA caked up and caked out match. Tasha Steelz, mini cupcakes, not mini cupcakes, jumbo cupcakes. Jada Stone, caked out. So it's a good match from the cake's perspective. But they had a singles match. Order 4, of course, was out with Tasha Steelz. But Jada Stone still won the match. But Jada still got a W, but then she got dealt with.
Yeah.
All right, then Steve Maclin did get to come to the ring. Tom Hannafin, one of the announcers, who is a friend of Steve Maclin, the one he was talking to earlier, and they want to know what the actions is toward Mike Santana. Maclin says that it's not about Santana, but it's about him. It's his last day at TNA. He said that Santana is the most selfish person in the company, and that being thanked by him for his own selflessness was what made him snap. Hannafin wants Maclin to accept accountability. Macklin's not doing that.
Of course not.
Maclin says he wants to know where Santana was at during their tag team match after he lost the title, which is one of the reasons why he's calling him selfish. So it's one of them. We're just trying to do something to keep him interested right now. So if he comes back, we got something for him to do type situations. Right. Then we get to our main event. So in the main event, we have the System.
Boo.
Versus the Righteous. So it ends up being the Righteous and Rich Swann and BDE.
I don't like neither one.
Against the System.
That's doing us no favors.
Whoa. They confused me for this. Okay. My apologies, y'all. This is a 4-way tag team showdown. My bad.
Okay.
So we got the Righteous, we got Sinner and Saint, Rich Swann, BD, and then we got the System. My bad, y'all. TNA be tripping sometimes. Long story short, but
I was going to say, who do you root for in this match?
Right. That's gonna be the first. That's gonna be on this upcoming set of tapings. That's where it confused me because they kind of threw this in the middle. Ariana Grace is going to defend her World Championship title, Knockout Championship, against Jody 3 on next week's episode of Impact as well. Nick Namath is going to challenge Leon Slater for the X Division Championship. as well. And then that's all the stuff for next week. So my apologies because you had the system and it kind of threw me off because they have a match this week. So this week, as advertised, the main event, the Hardys and the Righteous against the System. So a lot of back and forth, a lot of everybody doing like their little thing and all that good stuff. But for the sake of having a few minutes to talk about what happens after the match and why the System, when it makes sense, the System beat the Hardys and the Righteous. They continue to beat on the Righteous and the Hardy after the bell. Moose comes out. He lays everybody out, but he's outnumbered, so they end up getting him. Then Alicia comes out and throws herself on top of Moose. So then everybody gets ticked off at her. They get ticked off at Eddie Edwards. And then that ends the show. They leave and that ends the show. So I'm trying to understand what they're doing with Moose. Right? Because you're coming out and you're having one guy come out to face 4 people that just won a match. You're not taking them out one by one. You don't have Santana with you or whatever. You just come out by yourself. You think you're going to take out 4 people. This is why I said I thought it was interesting what they were doing with Alicia. Because if she does flip on Moose soon, it's going to feel real crazy how deep they're trying to portray it. You know what I'm saying? But it's not like they won't do it. They don't give us some earth at all. So, ladies and gentlemen, that has been your TNA Roundup. We're going to take us a quick commercial break. And when we do return, we're going to go over all the comments that we have. And then we're going to talk a little All Elite Wrestling. You know we're going to talk about the most dangerous.
Oh, Lord.
Definitely going to talk about him. Let's go.
Whether it's the men's college game,
the way that this season has been going, yeah, anything is possible.
The women's college game,
And how passionate Ancient Reef was at that press conference, they got their mojo now.
The WNBA,
AJ Wilson-Brown stood 1-2, followed by Brittany Griner, Aaliyah Boston, Jackie Young,
or the NBA.
The Lakers had a 0.8 chance of winning. And then what happened in the fourth quarter? LeBron James by himself outdid the Clippers.
You will get any and all of the information right at your fingertips or your earlobes. Join the Playmaker as he breaks down all things basketball in Shooting Lights Out on the Playmakers blog, network, YouTube channel, and where you can find podcasts. Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze god.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can beat up black people.
As he takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific time zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Base YouTube channel.
All right, good people. So for a moment, your boy is running dolo. All good. We're going to go ahead and hit up these comments in the building right now. All right. Fix that right. All right. So, my man B. Nizzle's in the building. Barry Neal says, good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, Barry. So, now we're going to slide back up to the beginning here. Of course, Daniel Barry's sports highlights. You know what I'm saying? Cup of beer. We with it. Or a chug of could be a nice warm float. Coke float, nice cool float. However you want to take that. Going on, Daniel Barry. Miss Yolanda in the building. She says hello. She also says, I didn't want Dark State or Vanity Project. I didn't want either one of them on my television at all, Yolanda. So I definitely can understand how you would feel about that. Definitely. Most definitely. Garbage juice times 2. All right. So we're going to go ahead and slide over here to good old AEW. It was interesting. It was definitely interesting. So on Dynamite, February 25th, another one of these eliminator matches for Jon Moxley. He fought El Clone. Of course, Jon Moxley won. I like what they're doing with this, and the reason I say this is because they're giving Moxley the opportunity to dominate this belt. You still have a chink of him and Konosuke Takeshita. They're gonna have him, but everybody else can't even get a shot at the belt. Go one of two ways. Okay. You can have Mox lose to Takeshita with then you put in a little bit of what I want to say here. You put a little bit of respect with a K on Moxley and what he's got going on because of what's happening. Right? Or you can have Takeshita win and he now has a belt that's been elevated by Moxley and people having such a difficult time handling things with Moxley. So either way, I think you've put yourself in a good position with what they're doing with Moxley and his 180 championships. But for the sake of being serious, this is the Continental Championship, I believe he has. So El Clone was on a team that Mox time out, which is kind of how he got there. But, on one match, all had some promos before their matches, just, popping off a little bit, how AEW likes to do sometimes. It's good at the very beginning. I think for us, the match is kind of where the show starts. It's like, oh yeah, it did happen later on, so that's kind of why I'm slide to y'all like it, because that's at least how my mind works with it. We had Nigel McGuinness tonight with Excalibur and Tony Schiavone instead of Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson. Excuse me, I keep trying this WWE thing. Just makes more sense. So before Moxley goes to the ring, he gets slapped by Marina Shafir. So Renee Paquette, who of course is Jon Moxley's wife in real life, we focus it on now, but she is. was asking Miss Marina Shafir about the slaps, and she said there's slaps of joy. Yeah, so it's whatever. We still kind of get a little bit of a iffy feeling with Mox and then the rest of the Death Riders because they seem to be a little bit more on the darker side now than Mox, and Mox seems to be more like Bryan Danielson was at the end. So there's that. So that's how it's night. Then but Swerve is coming out. Says he's living life without regrets. That when he won the title is when he had his edge and he was focused and he was the most dangerous. Says he's the most dangerous, not Brody King. He says he's already eliminated part of the founding fathers, so to speak, of AEW, and that he wouldn't, and now he's eliminated Omega as well. So take that as you like it. But Swerve's definitely back to being the bad guy, and he wanted the entire locker room to look out for him because he says he is the most dangerous. And I mean, the man's music says most dangerous, most dangerous. So when your music even saying it, I mean, that's all I really need to hear. You feel me? But y'all know I Swerve's my guy. Fine angle. Swerve was fined $100,000 and he was suspended this week, but it didn't matter. Oh, and in his promo, a fan did try to heckle him. He looked at him and said, "Yo, mama." And then Bandito saw it and said backstage that he promises to face Swerve once he's done with Mark Davis. So we're getting a slow burn to Swerve, I think, getting his championship back. It might take a little bit of time, but I think he'll get that championship back. All right, the next we had Orange Cassidy versus Gabe Kidd. He got hit. So Gabe Kidd got hit with a beach break and almost lost, but Kidd kicked out of it. And then he hit pile driver on Orange Cassidy to get the win. War Dogs came out, which is his tag team partner, Clark Connors, the other half of the War Dogs. And they were trying to do a little work, of course, on Cassidy. But another smallish fella, himself, Darby Allin, came out and made the save. That got the other two gentlemen to go ahead and slide out of the ring. So we'll see how that goes. We had Kevin Knight versus Mansoor. We're not going to take time to talk about Kevin Knight versus Mansoor. Kevin Knight defeats Mansoor 10 times out of 10. Thunder Rosa did a backstage interview where she said she's taking on Thekla next week in the Women's World Championship match. Chris Statlander was there, told her to be careful, she'll have her back. And then on Collision, they're going to team up against the Sisters of Sin. So MJF did not get out of the Texas Death Match. That will be the match. Then we reminded of Heyman that this is going to be the second time that he's put a wrestler out for being able to continue or be the world champion again, like he did to Cody Rhodes when he threw at the top. And the Brawling Birds, the new tag team we talked about last week, they basically kind of they're going to run through everybody, long story short. Everybody thinks they can run through everybody. All right, World Tag Team Championship match for the Women's World Tag Team Championships. The Babes of Wrath versus Mega Bad. It was incomplete due to Penelope Ford, who just got back from injury, getting hurt again. You can't do a tag team with Penelope Ford at this point because she cannot stay here. So Linux is another person that's kind of in that little trio. I think you're gonna have to start doing Lena Cross and Maine. That looks like a more physically dominating tag team anyway. But Penelope Ford, I think, has injured her ankle, and she just seems to be hurt all the time at this point. Brody King beat Mark Davis.
I mean, we all know Penelope Ford. We all know Penelope Ford is a delicate flower.
You did hear that. And I do want to go back real quick and point out the fact that tag team championship match, Babes of Wrath, there's a lot of cakes in that match. Just for those who are looking for caked out, there might be one for. All right. Mile High Madness, especially Megan Bain and your TBS champion. They are two women that are super caked out. Willow Nightingale, by the way. And then Lena Cross, she got some cakes on her too. Penelope Ford and Harley Cameron. They have other assets, but those are two talk about the case. All right. Mile High Madness. FTR and the Demand against the Young Bucks, Jack Perry, and Matt Perry, the Rascals, and the Young Bucks won the match. Ricochet told Leona Bishop Khan, and FTR, of course, means that lost the match. We're not that surprised about that. Rascals also have a title shot against FTR, so somebody's going to take them out, or somebody's going to, it's going to be some big things happening in the AEW tag team division. I do feel like it was a main event match. AEW, they're trying to do a lot of elevation, and there's nothing wrong with elevating people. I'm not a person that says don't do those things. But at the same time, proper elevation is important, and we're not always getting that with what's popping. So there's not really much else we need to say about AEW. Some things coming in the pipeline, but not the greatest show this week. But that's okay. That's okay because every week doesn't have to be great, but it wasn't garbage. We did further some storylines, quote unquote. We'll see if they really are being furthered or just whatever. So, Maker, would you like to take a break before we get into WWE, or you just want to pound right into it?
Take a break. Take a break.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break here, good people. And when we return, it will be all WWE. All the other T's have been crossed and I's have been dotted. So now it's time to get it.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition,
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Whether it's news, The largest egg producer finds bird flu in chickens at a Texas plant. Weather. Devastating tornadoes rip through the heart of the United States. Inspiration. A breast cancer survivor completed the journey of chemotherapy, and now begins a future one of matrimony or sports. Michael Jordan is shown on a photo with Diddy. LeBron James has a video extolling the virtues of a Diddy party. This has been yet another beating a dead horse presentation. We got you covered. BS3 Network proudly presents The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson, live every weekday morning beginning April 29th at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central.
Welcome back to Monster Wrestling here as we continue on here. Now we get to the WWE. And you can probably already know what we're talking about because we had a PLE this over the weekend, you know? But first, before we get to the PLE, we got to go back to Monday Night Raw real quick in this regard. We had a show that was contribute to the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. And by the way, shout out to my sister who was in attendance at that particular Monday Night Raw because it was held in one Atlanta, GA. And as AJ Styles was saying his quote-unquote goodbyes to the WWE Universe, he was ready to call it quits. He's officially retiring. He said it on many different podcasts that he's actually retiring. He even said to his good brothers doing a podcast with Gallows and Anderson that, yeah, he's actually done. There's no AEW. There's no TNA. He's like officially done. As he was done and we rolled the credits and getting ready to call it a day, you heard a gong. What? What is the Undertaker doing on Raw? All right. You know, everybody's happy to see the Undertaker. Anytime you can see the Undertaker is a great day to see the Undertaker. But why is he on Raw? What is going on here? It's time for Raw to go off. What you holding us up, Taker? I guess the mic toss this time. You got unfinished business, so you just gonna leave your stuff in the ring? You got unfinished business. Everybody's like, ooh, where is this going? All of a sudden, Undertaker says, it is my honor to announce that you, AJ Styles, is the newest member of the class of 2026 to go into the WWE Hall of Fame.
So we want to make sure we throw this up there. Yolanda was there. Floor seat for the first time. That's what's up. Hopefully you got to take a cheer home. She said it was crazy. And then talking about Undertaker coming out, she says, you know, I screamed. That's what's up. That's what we like to see, man. People actually getting to go and check out the events and be in that live space. It's fun.
So, Mr. McCain, AJ Styles will be joining Stephanie McMahon in the WWE Hall of Fame.
I can rock with it. I think this pretty much says he's done too, though.
No, I went through that. Man, I went to the part when he said it. He's been saying that on all the podcasts and shows he's been doing. He's literally done.
I was hoping he was gonna maybe have a little short run with TNA, or maybe he'll be there as like an authority figure or something. I feel like he needs to have a role with TNA because it's the house that AJ Styles built.
It is, but he's still with WWE. He's gonna be probably what you thinking of is what he's gonna do with WWE, working with the younger talent.
But here's the
backstage
thing:
and stuff.
you can still do it with TNA too because they got the working relationship.
Yeah, that's possible.
I think they could use his star power to build him up more. I think he could be a lot more for TNA than he would be for WWE as far as just, you know what I'm saying? I mean, the check is probably a lot fatter in WWE, don't get me wrong, but you know, great career, man. I followed AJ Styles from back when he was with TNA. I used to watch TNA when they were on the.
I did too, and he was not called for number one then.
It wasn't phenomenal yet. He was just AJ Styles. He had to become phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? But back when he used to do the monthly pay-per-views, and that was TNA, NWA TNA.
Yeah, AJ Styles is. When I ain't watching TNA back then, they kept going back and forth between TNA and Impact Wrestling. They didn't know which one they wanted to be. That's when I got introduced to AJ Styles some more during that crew, especially when AJ Styles was in the X division.
Yeah, so that's a little bit after when I got introduced to him.
That was literally not the X division title. It was literally an X division.
Yeah, and also AJ Styles is one of the few wrestlers that I actually met and had a chance to talk to. I used to work at Lids in the Metro Atlanta area. I was covering a store one day because the store manager, assistant manager, you know, they weren't able to work. So they asked me to cover, so I go to cover. AJ Styles pops in with his son. This is way back, you know, when he was still with TNA. And, you know, I'm checking some stuff for him. And I look up and I'm like, AJ Styles? He's like, yeah, you know, we chopped it up for a few minutes. And he was just a regular dude that loved to wrestle. And I always stuck with me because I met so many different people. Like I met, before he passed, I met Dusty Rhodes. I met Disco Inferno, who's a jerk. A couple of other guys as well. And it just stuck out to me how AJ was just like a cool guy, man. And I asked him, I said, man, how long you gonna wrestle? He said, man, I still got a long way to go because this is some years ago, trust me. And he's like, I still got a ways to go. He said, but I know when it's time. And I asked him, I said, man, you ever leave TNA, go to like New Japan, WWE? He was like, you never know. No, there was no AEW at the time. So yeah, just a real cool dude, man. Was smart enough not to really be giving anything away. But I liked how he just was just like a regular person. Because a lot of times you meet celebrities and they're just not regular people. So fast forward to, you know, him retiring. I was just like, man, that's probably the wrestler I've had the best conversation with of any I met. And now he's retired. And it was cool to just come full circle for that moment because I'd had that conversation with him. And I had seen him again at a different store. And he remembered me. He's like, you were at the other store. I was like, yeah, I'm a manager. Sometimes we have to bounce around and cover and all that. So, yeah, we had another good conversation there, too. So, and he buys hats. He actually buys. He don't just come in. And a lot of stars, you believe it or not, when you work at something like Liz, you know, it's not like a, you know, it's not like a clothing store or anything. So there's only one thing you're going to be getting there, Lids. But, you know, a lot of guys come in and they don't buy nothing and they just want people to talk to them and acknowledge them. But like I said, just a cool dude, man. Bought a bunch of hats both times for his kids and everything. Got some stitching work done, all just real cool, man. Just made a really good impression on me. And that's hard to do. But yeah, man, I'm glad for him. I'm glad he got a chance to have a great career, go to WWE and do what he did, man. It's awesome.
From the good to the bad.
Everything else is bad. I'm just kidding.
I'm still on Monday Night Raw. I ain't got an Elimination Chamber yet.
I know you're.
I'm just letting people know. What to do with the vision now? Before we're not talking about Elimination Chamber yet. Because on Monday Night Raw, Bronson Reed tore his bicep. He was already down Braun Breaker. We said, all right, Bronson Reed, you're the man up. And now he's gone.
I want to talk about this for a second. This is the best thing that ever happened to the division. Because the two guys that were background characters have to move forward. So you might think, okay, what are you saying? Think about it like this. Braun Breaker's doing everything he can to get back by WrestleMania. That's all the reports. Right? So he's probably going to be back by then. Or close to then. But for right now, you've got to focus on these two guys, right? What would be the best, smartest, most intelligent way? Not saying that they're going to do this, but what would be the best, smartest, most intelligent way to get these two guys over without Braun Breaker or Bronson Reed there? The Tag Team Championships, a match at WrestleMania against the Usos and beating the Usos. That's what would get these two guys over. And Jay's hurt. So we always go to he's not 100%. They isolate him, beat him down. Then get Jimmy in, isolate him, beat him down, and get a win. Yolanda says Chad Gable did that to him by accident. It was crazy to see up close. So it was actually two things, Yolanda. That was part of it, but there was a move he did on, I think it was Chad Gable earlier too.
No, it wasn't a move. It wasn't a move. He was breaking up the pinfall of Chad Gable pinning Jay.
Yeah, I just seen him flying, so So and that's when I feel like he initially heard it. And I feel like if he had to just stopped in, he might have been good. But being a good soldier, finished the match. And he might have already been hurt where he was going to have surgery either way. I don't really know. But I feel like he heard it there. You could see him like shaking his arm and stuff after that. But then he continued the match. And I think Chad Gable definitely finished him off with the way he dropped him. Of course, by accident. That's a lot of meat to drop him.
So it basically Bronson Reed to his own bicep. It wasn't Chad Gable. So Yolanda, if you ever get a chance to go back and look at that match, when he tried to dive to break up that pin, that's when he did it. Because right after he did, he looked at his arm. He looked dead at his arm because he figured something did not go according to plan. And then to like what Koo said, being the good soldier, continue to finish the match, and then he got suplexed, and then he rolled out the ring for the rest of that point.
Yeah.
But these things happen, man.
Tag team championships. That's what the division need right now.
But more than anybody on. So it's unfortunate that happened. So no Braun Breaker, no Bronson Reed for the division. We'll see what is next for the division and Paul Heyman, who, by the way, is now again the advocate for one Brock Lesnar. Just to do that. I'm looking into the future, and if I'm seeing this correctly, I see a Obafemi sighting at some point for Brock Lesnar.
It would be fun to see.
Remember, Obafemi is not on one brand yet. He has not chosen on what brand he's going to be on. Remember that. Yeah, I might have seen him on SmackDown more, but he has not chosen to be on SmackDown. I think they are saving Obafemi for the right time to accept. That's why they're doing an open challenge for Brock Lesnar. When do you ever do an open challenge for Brock Lesnar?
Good point.
Because ain't nobody stupid enough to accept an open challenge to go against Brock Lesnar. I might want to be on WrestleMania, but not him. Unless he got the title, then I got no choice. Because you want the title. But that's a regular WrestleMania match. Me and you are not accepting that match. We already know how that's going to end. But somebody like over Finn?
It's definitely not going to be the best.
Open Finn can accept that match, and everybody would be intrigued. That's wrong. One quick thing for SmackDown. And when I found out this result, I knew how one match was going to go at Elimination Chamber. Mr. McCain, we have new women's tag team champions in Lash Legend and Nia Jax.
I love it. I freaking love it.
So let the bully era begin by the bougie bully and the irresistible force.
What do they call themselves? The irresistible forces?
I think so.
Yeah.
Which leads me to Elimination Chamber, because once I found out that happened, I said, well, I know who's winning Elimination Chamber now.
I just want to say, unfortunately, I picked everything for Elimination Chamber. It makes me sad.
So, in the women's Elimination Chamber match, you had Rhea Ripley going up against Tiffany Stratton, going up against Kiana James, Alexa Bliss. Oh,
Your sister says it's going to be Kit Wilson.
No.
Get rid of all that toxic masculinity.
He might get beat faster than Brock beat Kofi.
Ooh, he would.
The winner of this match will face Jade Cargill at WrestleMania. Because Liv Morgan picked Stephanie back here, and rightfully so. And what do we always say when it comes to somebody in this match? And any match she's in? Mommy's always on top. Rhea Ripley is going to WrestleMania to challenge Jade Cargill for the WWE Women's Championship. All right, sir. We're not giving you the predictions. We got time. But, sir, first thoughts. Now I'm going to use your terminology for you. As Emo Cakes will be going up against Thunder Cakes for the title. Early thoughts.
This is the only match that made sense. I'll tell you why. Raquel Rodriguez, I don't feel like she's a believable person to beat Jade Cargill because she just lost to Stephanie Valkyria like 3 times. And besides her, no one else was physically able to handle it but mine. So I like using some common sense. That's what I did when I made the prediction. And it's going to be cakes bouncing everywhere, and it's going to be a nice battle. So it's going to be fun to watch. And we should see a pretty good match. And these are 2 women. One gets a lot more grief for botching than the other one, but both of them get mentioned a lot with botches. And I think people need to understand it's hard to go through a full wrestling match and not have a botch. It's just certain people, we're looking for them, so we always catch them. Mm-hmm. Right? It's like when someone stutters, or like we doing a show and we pause for an extra second or something. If you're looking for it, if that's the only reason you're watching, you're going to find that. But if you're here for the show, if we do it, you ain't even really focused on it because you're here to enjoy yourself, not just to be a hater. I'm looking forward to it.
That's cool. McCain's only thoughts on Jay Cardell and Rhea Ripley for WrestleMania 42.
Mm-hmm.
But we have time to dive into matches on the WrestleMania card as we get closer and closer to WrestleMania. Next on the card, Women's Intercontinental Championship. Becky Lynch defending against the hometown girl, AJ Lee. The question was, and the only question that was, how do we get these two ladies to WrestleMania? What a way. Because, be honest with you, yes, we picked the match, but me and Kobe didn't care. We just said, let's find a way to get us to WrestleMania with these two. Because that's what you had. Just give us something to work with to get to WrestleMania. Well, sir, they went the route of AJ Lee as the new Women's Intercontinental Champion.
It was in Chi-Town. Chi-Town. Well, no surprise.
And Becky Lynch being Becky Lynch, asking for Jessica Carr to be suspended for her role in this travesty that took place in Chicago, Illinois. And the good Sir Adam Pearce said he viewed the tapes over and over again. He took account to what Becky Lynch and her legal team had to say in their paper. And it's a definite H no hockey sticks to the suspension of one Miss Jessica Carr, the official of that match. 1, kudos to Becky Lynch for staying in character. 2, shout out to Adam Pearce for being the GM that he is. So now, Triple H, we just asked you this. You got the first part correct. You gave us a result at Elimination Chamber. Now with the, let's say, 6-7 weeks we got before WrestleMania, which is a very long time, by the way. How can you not screw this up so that AJ Lee and Becky Lynch rerun this back again at WrestleMania? Because that's what we're going at.
I would prefer if it was a multi-lady match.
I'm cool with that.
I think Bayley needs to be in there because she ain't got nothing to do.
I have heard and seen some interesting things coming out of what WWE could be doing with, Bayley and Lyra Valkyria, but I haven't seen any evidence in any of the shows yet. So you might be on to something there, sir. Just throwing that out there. I don't know in what capacity, but I do have a feeling Bayley and Lyra Valkyria will be making an appearance at Vegas during that time.
You understand? LA Knight is the king of botches, by the way.
I haven't got there yet, but we'll get there. Speaking of the next match, CM Punk versus Finn Balor for the World Title Part 2. Could it be better than Part 1, which was on a Monday Night Raw out in Ireland, in the home country of Finn Balor? So we're going to run it back at the Elimination Chamber in the hometown of CM Punk. Same result. Not surprising, because they was not going to jeopardize Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. That's like their money-making match.
But we did get the MJ style entrance for CM Punk.
Yeah.
I like that.
Gave him the Michael Jordan entrance. Very nice touch.
Good touch.
Nostalgia. Like it. But, sir, these two went at it twice. We enjoyed the first match. Did you enjoy the second one, the sequel?
I wasn't upset. I'm against fundamentally quick rematches. So I wasn't like excited or anything extra by it. But I mean, I'm okay with it. It's just a rematch. I mean, no matter how brutal and how good it was, it's just a rematch that we already seen. We got the same outcome. That's how my mind works about these things.
Well, I understand. I actually enjoyed part 2.
I mean, I wasn't against it, but like I said,
I enjoyed part 2, but me and you and the Chicago Girl, we all knew CM Punk was not losing that match. That's part of the reason why it's not better than part 1. Because everybody just knew y'all is not finna jeopardize. If y'all didn't already set CM Punk and Roman Reigns up, maybe we can say it might have been better than match 1.
It might have been a chance, yeah.
But we already knew y'all headline matches CM Punk and Roman Reigns.
Right.
I know y'all like to do that little thing, card subject to change type deal. Not that one. That card is not subject to change.
Nah, player. Holla, holla.
So we all knew that one. But they did do something interesting in my point of view at the end of the match when Finn Balor shook CM Punk's hand. I said, is that what I've been missing to get this ball rolling for the Judgment Day 2?
I'm calling it. By the end of WrestleMania, Prince Devitt, Fergal Devitt, aka Finn Balor, will be your new Intercontinental Champion.
Super early prediction from one cool McCain. He's already putting out to the universe. Finn Balor will be facing down the Mysterio at WrestleMania, and Finn Balor will be taking the Intercontinental Champion from Dominic Mysterio.
And that will be one of 2 WrestleMania daggers that will completely destroy and desecrate Judgment Day.
So you got an early prediction. We'll see what happens on tonight's Raw. It's about to come on in 7 minutes. And then we get to the main event, the men's Elimination Chamber match. Cody Rhodes, Devon Evans, Tricky Williams, LA Knight, Randy Orton. Winner takes on Drew McIntyre for the WWE Undisputed Championship.
Drew McIntyre.
Paul, on behalf of the Monster Wrestling, you did us proud in this regard. 1, Trick Williams didn't win. And 2, Trick Williams was not the first one eliminated. For that, we thank you. Now everything else is his opinion, separated from ours. But in that regard, we're on this. Thank you, Triple H, for that.
This match literally went like I said it would. Literally. I literally was like, Drew gonna cause Cody, Randy gonna win. Somehow Cody's gonna get into it, and Jacob Fatu as well. So let me tell you how that's gonna happen real quick. I know I just ruined the end of the match for y'all, but if either you've seen it or you should have already seen it. Cody and Drew have this ridiculous match next week because Nick got mad. Nick Aldis got mad.
No,
Triple H backed him up.
You putting it in nice terms. Nick Aldis is fed up with Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, that's fine. We can split it that way. Also, remember, he told Jacob Fatu to give it some time, and he would get him in the title picture. So guess what Jacob Fatu is going to do? He is going to go out there and he is going to destroy Cody, and he's going to destroy Drew McIntyre on Friday. And then you're going to have a fatal four-way at WrestleMania. Because Fatu going to be like, if you don't put me in that match, they're getting it every week. You have to. Story it's already written itself. We ain't got to worry about that. But
yeah, we just wanted to know how we were going to get there. First up was Randy Orton winning the chamber.
I just want to throw this out there. Danhausen should be the speed champion. So Yana says, do y'all think they're doing Nick Aldis versus Drew?
No. You is not finna sit there and slide that in. Well, I was trying to avoid it, but you went ahead and slid it in. So
oh yeah, no, we was not gonna not talk about that. Danhausen. I mean, we knew that that's who was gonna be more than likely, but bruh, why are we making a grandiose interest for Danhausen for him to win the Speed Championship? That's the only championship he's gonna win in WWE is the Speed Championship.
And guess what? Nobody in Chicago reacted.
Oh, they reacted. They were booing.
For those of you who don't know, Danhausen is a former AEW wrestler.
Mid-Carter. Thank you.
If you want to be specific.
Lower mid-Carter. To be 100% specific.
If you want to be very specific. This whole crate, we gonna slip it from Raw to SmackDown, and from SmackDown to Raw. Okay, we gonna send it. Be all right. You got the Elimination Chamber date on there. Okay, bro, bring it to Elimination Chamber. This is what we gonna do. That can't be the only thing that they got up their sleeve. There's no way that's the only thing they got up their sleeve.
They would have did better off for that being a new championship to vent it on both brands, a television championship of sorts. That would have been 20,000 times better than a future Speed champion debuting on a pay-per-view.
I'm not saying, I know something, but Playmaker, they literally did it on it. I'm saying they probably got something else planned. They saving it for WrestleMania. They just use that as the beginning part of it.
That ain't the beginning of nothing, sir.
You might be right. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt.
They might do something else. I'm not saying they won't do nothing else, but this ain't the beginning of nothing. Because there's nothing you're going to do with Danhausen but giving the Speed Championship.
But actually, the crazy thing is a lot of people don't know about Danhausen, but Danhausen is actually a good wrestler. It's just, I don't know if his gimmick is just one of those like nobody can get past it. Can't get past the gimmick part of it. But he's a good wrestler.
I'm going to neither deny nor confirm that statement.
But it's just, there's some people that got characters that you just can't get past. And when the fans can't get past it, you don't get the opportunity, so people can't really see what you did. But another pretty good wrestler. He can go in the ring. But will he get the opportunity? That's the question. And when he gets the opportunity, can the fans look past the character part of it and to see him work in the ring? That's the interesting test right there.
I cannot.
Well, you seen him in AEW?
I did.
I don't think he was in the ring that much in AEW, though. Now I'm remembering.
No, it was not. And he should not have been.
So, but hey, we'll see. We'll see what Paul comes up with the one.
I already told you. Speed Championship.
Nevertheless, one Randy Keith Orton wins the Elimination Chamber, and now he's going to WrestleMania. Because of Drew McIntyre's actions, so Drew and Cody Rhodes are on SmackDown. Jacob Fatu will find a way to interfere with that match. And at some point, Nick Aldis will be making this a fatal four-way match. That's all I need, Nick Aldis. Just do me a favor, make it a fatal four-way match. I don't care who wins outside of Cody. I'm gonna be honest. I know my co-host is a big Cody Rhodes fan, but I don't want Cody winning that title. Not right now.
Your co-host has told you before Cody won it what they were going to do, and have they not done exactly what I said?
Yeah.
So
I don't want them to do a Nick Aldis versus Drew. I need Drew as the champion going into WrestleMania. I need that man in the spotlight. That man deserves to be in the spotlight for Mania for once. Does he win it? Don't care. But he needs to be the champion going to WrestleMania.
He said, I don't even care if we win.
I don't. But he needs to be in the spotlight. That's what I'm saying. Get that man the spotlight. If he loses, he loses. but he needs to be in a spotlight match. Don't do Nick Aldis and Drew. No.
I say Yolanda. I think like a lot of people want to see it, but it's one of them where you want to see it until you see it. If that makes sense. Like Nick Aldis ain't wrestled in a minute. He ain't getting no ring and look good. That's number one. I also think they're doing like what I want people to realize is these two general managers that WWE has right now, they are both doing a good job. They're both kind of like facey, kind of like Uzi, but facey. So they're both kind of facey, but at the same time, they're pretty fair for the most part. They get ticked off at their own headaches from time to time, but they're pretty fair. And I like them in those roles, and I don't want those roles to change. So what we need is to keep these gentlemen in these roles for a good minute. So I am going to support them staying in their roles and dominating in those specific roles.
And plus, I couldn't let him talk about it because he slipped in Danhausen into the mix. Like I couldn't get past that part. Like he just slapped that in there.
He could have let me. He decided not to.
No.
Don't let him fool y'all.
No. That is not happening. So, all right. We have our 4 main matches for WrestleMania. On the women's side, Stephanie Bakel will be defending the Women's World Heavyweight Championship against Liv Morgan. Jade Cargill will be defending the Women's WWE Championship against Rhea Ripley. And on the men's side, as it stands right now, on paper, Drew McIntyre will be defending the WWE Undisputed Championship against Randy Orton. And the main event, as it stands right now for WrestleMania 42, the World Heavyweight Championship between CM Punk and Roman Reigns. So that's where we stand at right now, good sir, for WrestleMania.
Yep. So make sure y'all tune in. Yo. It's gonna be fun this road to WrestleMania. This one hasn't been as exciting as some of the past, but they're gonna heat it up because they want y'all to buy those tickets. People ain't buying them tickets; they're too high.
And by the way, WWE, y'all put yourself out there now. Night 1, the first hour is gonna be on ESPN2. And night 2 is one I'm really harping on. Night 2, the first hour of night 2 is on ESPN. I'm not talking about the app. The actual channel itself, ESPN. So what you telling me, WWE and TKO, is that y'all coming out on fire for both of those nights. If you're going to put night 1 and night 2, that first hour, on 2 of your flagship channels. Go ahead, my bad.
I'm going to go ahead and put Yolanda's comment up there.
Even though she said it for something else, but you using it for this moment.
Yes,
well played, sir. Well played.
Hey, sometimes you got to use the proper things in a different moment to make them pop even more. Thank you for that comment, by the way, Yolanda. She was talking about earlier when about her question that we finally answered. I'm sure she didn't like Playmaker's answer. He'd be a little too abrasive at times.
No, she probably agreed with me on this one. That Drew McIntyre should be in that.
Yeah, she did hit a laugh out loud at the end, so she probably does agree with you. I just wanted to talk about you being abrasive. That's all. That is all, my good man.
Hey, I'm standing 10 toes down on that.
I am not judging you, my boy. I'm not judging you. I will say, appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure you tune in next week. Like I was saying, WrestleMania gonna pick up. They got to, because the ticket sales ain't going how they want. They got to try to put the first hour on ESPN2 and ESPN to get some people to watch. Give us good story. People gonna watch. People gonna buy them tickets. Don't give us the story. They're not. Right now, you got some work to do. And you ain't got but so much time, pimping. So y'all better get ready and get right. But make sure you tune in next week. We will have more thoughts as we get closer to WrestleMania. I know how I go. Some of the other shows we might have to pull back a little bit, so because we're gonna need more time to talk about the way they're doing it now. The 8 matches over the 2 nights. I joke. I hope I joke.
I can neither confirm or deny this.
Facts. I do want to say it's never where you start, good people. It's always where you finish. And make sure you check on your friends that might be going through a little depression. Sometimes they need to pick me up. That being said, see y'all back next week. Another episode of Monarchs of Wrestling. Y'all go watch Raw and enjoy yourselves. Yeah, everything froze for a second. We good now.